Maas, Keezhapavoor.
Welcome to Maas Keezhapavoor channel. I am Dr.K.Aruna Shanmugavel. Let us see a motivational quote. Heavy rains remind us of challenges in life. Never ask for a lighter rain. Just pray for a better umbrella. That is attitude. In this video, we are going to learn about the histology of cerebrum. The surface of the cerebral hemisphere is covered by a thin layer of grey matter called cerebral cortex. It contains cell bodies and processes of innumerable number of neurons, neuroglia, and blood vessels. The types of cerebral cortex are neocortex, paleocortex, and archicortex. 90% of our total cortical area is neocortex and it is 6-layered structure. Some parts of base of telencephalon, that is olfactory area, is the paleocortex and the hippocampal formation is the archicortex. The principal neuronal types are pyramidal cells and stellate cells. The other neurons are the cells of Martinati, fusiform cells, horizontal cells of Keezhapavoor. Let us see these cells one by one. The pyramidal cells have pyramid-shaped cell bodies and they are about 10 to 70 microns in diameter. Their axons arise from base and the dendrites arise from the apex. The pyramidal cells are most abundant type and forms 2/3 of the cortex. The largest of the pyramidal cells are called the betz cells. The pyramidal cells have long axons that leave the cortex and they reach either other cortical areas or to various subcortical sites. So, the pyramidal cells are the principal output neurons. The dendrites have dendritic spines that are preferential site of synaptic contact. These dendritic spines of pyramidal cells are selectively modified as a result of learning. Stellate cells are small, that is less than 10 micrometers. They are multipolar neurons. These neurons look like granules under low magnifications, so they are otherwise called as granular neurons. The stellate cells form about 1/3 of the total neurons of cortex. The axons of stellate cells are short and end within the cortex. The cells of Martinati are small polygonal cells. They have very few short dendrites. The axons of these cells extend towards the surface and bifurcate to run horizontally in most superficial layers. They synapse with the pyramidal cells. The fusiform cells are spindle-shaped cells and oriented at right angles to the cortex. Their dendrite projects towards the cortical surface, whereas the axon has the possibility to be commissural, associating, or projection-oriented. The horizontal cells of Keezhapavoor or Retzius-cajal cells are small, spindle-shaped neurons and they are oriented parallel to the surface. These are least common type and seen in the most superficial layer. Their axons pass laterally to synapse with dendrites of pyramidal cells. During development only, these cells are prominent but disappear after birth. Right. So far we have discussed the types of neurons present in the cerebral cortex. Now let us see the 6 laminae of cerebral cortex with the particular type of neuron in each lamina. The most superficial lamina is the plexiform layer. It contains many dendritic and axonal synapses and nuclei of neuroglial cells. Occasional horizontal cells of Kajal are also seen in this layer. The next layer is the external granular layer. This layer contains predominantly stellate cells. Also, it contains axons and dendritic connections and small pyramidal cells. The third layer is the pyramidal cell layer with predominate moderate sized pyramidal cells. Some stellate cells and basket cells are also present in this layer. The next layer is the inner granular layer with densely packed stellate cells. In this layer, outer band of Baillarger is seen. These are aggregation of transversely running myelinated fibers. The fifth layer is ganglionic layer. In this layer, large pyramidal cells are present predominantly. These cells are known as giant pyramidal cells of betz. Apart from these cells, few cells of Martinotti and stellate cells are also found in this layer. The inner band of Baillarger is seen in the ganglionic layer. The deeper layer of the cerebral cortex is multiform layer and it contains cells of various sizes and shapes. Out of these various cells, fusiform cells lie in a deeper plane. The afferent fibers synapse superficially in the cortex with dendrites of efferent neuron. Efferent fibers are typically the axons of pyramidal cells and they tend to give off branches. These branches pass back into the superficial layers to communicate with their own dendrites. This can be via interneuronal connections or involving other cortical cell types. The neuroglial cells are the supporting cells for cortical neurons. They are astrocytes, oligodendroglial cells, microglial cells, and ependymal cells. Let us learn these cells in the next video. Shall we wind up this session with a quote? No one is too busy in this world. We all have same 24 hours. It's all about priorities. Thank you for watching.
If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon, select all to get instant notification.